Jumpstart Monday. Once again, it's the 4th of October. We are hopefully broadcasting live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And this is another episode of our Jumpstart Monday where we share our tips. Today's tips is the last of the series of communication tips to become 2 times better communicator. And we're sharing tip 9 and tip 10. If you just joined, please drop a note so I'll see that everyone is here, and I'll see that we're broadcasting on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, because last time we had a problem with LinkedIn, and I want to make sure that we're broadcasting live everywhere. Let's start with our winner of our show. Our winner of the show is a person who shared the previous show, and the winner is Eleni Dimitriou. Eleni, you win the Stand Up, Stand Out online course on public speaking. Please do get in touch with Sophia or myself by dropping a note below this post, and we will send you your password to join it. Let's see who is here. George Ioannou is here, and he's watching us from Facebook. And Sophia, if you can give me a thumbs up that we're broadcasting on LinkedIn, I will know for sure that we are. Yes, we are. So guys, 2 tips left. And I'll start first and foremost with our proverb of the day, because we always share a book and a proverb. And this time I'm not going to leave the proverb last. I'm going to leave the proverb first. So the proverb says the following: a picture is worth 1,000 words. So in other words, your slides can benefit your presentation tremendously. One great picture can say a lot of things about what you want to say. And sometimes you don't need to express yourself in words to do so. So first tip is the importance of slide in a presentation. And I'm going to be bringing on Sophia so we make this discussion even more juicier. Sophia, how are you doing?
Great. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward actually to these last 2 tips, because I think that slides are the one thing that people get confused with when they are doing a presentation. So can you tell us a few mistakes or things we should not do when we are presenting with slides?
So you want to start the other way around. Okay.
Yeah.
First and foremost, Sophia, you are the star of the show, the person who's presenting, the manager, the leader, the speaker, the keynote speaker, or the presenter, and your audience. And I've seen too many people leaning in on their slides. They use them as crutches. You know, when you have when your leg hurts and you cannot walk and you use crutches, they lean in towards their crutches, towards their slides. They turn their head and look at the slides all the time. They lose contact with the audience. And even though slides are important in a presentation, as we will see a bit further down, my first don't is do not lean so much on your slides. And if you don't want to lean so much on your slides, first and foremost, use less slides, decongest your slides, use less words and more pictures, because as we said earlier, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And I'll leave you to say a few don'ts as well, if you like as well. Is there anything that you notice through your experience when it comes to slides?
I think the slides, even though they help us, they can also show if we are not prepared. So if we are not prepared, you will see us reading the slides. You will see us, leaning on the slides and saying, okay, what's next? And it shows very much. If you're not prepared, it's better not to show slides, actually. And the other thing I see is that people have slides that are difficult to read or to see, like you might have very dark colors, and people are focusing on trying to figure out what that word is on the slide instead of listening to you.
Yes, there is a rule of 5 times 5 times 5, that you shouldn't use more than 5 words per slide, or 5 lines, or 5 decongested slides one after the other. I am done with this rule. I say that if you're a great speaker, and if you can be composed on stage, and if you do practice, use an amazing photo, use an amazing picture, decongest it. I remember once I was in Hong Kong giving a speech, and there was a guy from representing Malta. He came on, he showed an amazing scenery, And as soon as we all saw it, we were riveted on that scenery. And he said, "This is not Malta." And then he showed another amazing scenery. And we said, "Wow, this is even better." And he said, "This is not Malta." And then he showed the best scenery of them all. I got goosebumps. I'm even getting goosebumps saying it now. And he said, "This is Malta." And by using 3 amazing photos, 3 amazing images, he made us want to go to Malta and visit the island. So sometimes it's how you decongest your slides. And Sophia, if you are ready, can we show a bit from the Stand Up, Stand Out online course when it comes to slides? Just an excerpt of 1 minute and 15 seconds approximately, if you can do that.
Of course.
Thank you.
What we see here is too much information instead of a slide that would have captured and enhanced the key message that we want to drive through. Always remember that when crafting your slides, it should be quality over quantity. What the previous slide was telling us essentially is that global warming causes a lot of damage to the earth. In situations like this, you can capture the gist of your message and create a slide that looks more like this one. 90% of the ice in the world is in Antarctica. This slide is much easier for your audience to digest. Why? Because it has a subtle message which is only 8 words long, and it is sandwiched in between a number, the 90%, and a name, Antarctica. So instead of having lots of information on it that will absorb most of your audience's attention, this slide actually enhances and supports the key point you want to deliver. It makes it easier for both yourself as a presenter and for your audience to assimilate the message. It is important to understand that your slides are not there to help you remember what to say. They are there to create a multi-sensory experience and help you engage and inspire your audience.
Excellent. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you for that. So this is the Stand Up, Stand Out, guys, online course on public speaking. This course is divided into the 3 S's. We're using 2 of the S's. We're discussing 2 of the S's today. The first S is story, how to craft your story, because a convincing and captivating speaker, presenter, or even a manager inside the office has to use a story to get people to lean in forward. The second S stands for slide. And the third S stands for your stage presence, which we're going to be discussing in just a little while. For those wondering, Sophia, what other topics do we cover in terms of slides? We cover animations. We talk about using limited use of animations, which is very important when you're crafting your slides. We talk about how to find high quality images. Very important how to go to Google or any other search engine, use tools and find the best images and how you download them and use them. How to use appropriately charts, because some accountants mainly throw a lot of charts up there. So how to give a handout out and pinpoint to the most important number that needs to be discussed. And we talk a lot about fonts, how to use fonts wisely, and colors, which color stands for which one. So, Sophia, anything else to talk about the Stand Up, Stand Out? Is there anything else where people can access it?
Yes, I wanted to talk, because this is the last episode of this series about communication. We decided to have a special discount for our guests here. Maybe you want to show it now, Michael?
Of course. Guys, if you use Google 2525, you get a special discount from the course, and you can buy it within the next 48 hours. And you can access the password is Google 2525, easy to remember. And you can access it by going to academy.michaelvirardi.com. I'll leave this up for a little while. And Sophia, anything else when it comes to slides? Anything else just to cap it off?
No, I think we covered the basics.
Excellent.
Shall we go to the next tip?
Yes, we go to the next one. Guys, just a recap, a slide is worth 1,000 words. If the slide is used appropriately, decongest your slides. Don't lean in on your slides. And I'll give you another tip that's inside the Stand Up, Stand Out course. And it came through experience when I was giving a course for the partners of PwC, I looked at a lot of partners that they clicked and then they spoke. So they clicked, they looked at the projector at the back, they turned their head towards their audience, never turn your back towards your audience, and then they spoke. And immediately I stopped them and I said, speak, then click. Don't click and then speak. Because if you speak and then click, it means you know what's coming up. It means you're in control. It means that you do not depend on your slides. Your slides depend on you. So speak and then click. Don't click and then speak. And this is very important also for experienced trainers, some of whom are watching us today, like my friend George, who is teaching amazing, Kostas Konis and George, who are teaching many subjects from negotiation to body language and the rest. So since I said body language, let's move on to our second tip. Sophia, which one is it?
We see it on the screen. It's about body language. It's about your stage presence. And
so how do you want us to start?
Yes. I think the same way as we started with the slides. What are the things you advise people not to do when it comes to their body language?
Okay, excellent question, excellent statement. I'll say that when I was younger, more inexperienced, and I still remember my first speech, it was at the Apollonia Hotel. It was at the Mediterranean Hotel for IMH in Limassol in 2008. I was going up and down the stage, moving along all up and down. It was 20 minutes. I didn't even stop. Sophia I might have lost 3 kilos. And I thought because I was passionate, I did very well, I believe, at the time, but people couldn't concentrate. And when you move a lot, people cannot concentrate. So when you become a more experienced speaker, you move less. You can move your hands, you can move your head, you can look at people in the middle, in the corners, but you're more composed. And so should your movements be more composed. Also, when you move a lot and you want to make a point, you cannot stand still and make the point to the best of your abilities with the right intonation. So standing still, that's why I always say to my mentees, and we also say it in the course, the stand up, stand out course, that you should make a point, stop, pause as we learned in the previous episode, turn to the other side and make your next point. So don't make a point, and as you're making the point, say, okay, for my second point, and move. No, stop, pause, because the audience needs things to be highlighted. They need time to conceive your message. So if you ask me what's the don't when it comes to body language, don't move a lot. And don't confuse people with your adrenaline. Use your adrenaline to drive your passion, but don't use your adrenaline to drive your movements. So that's my
And I think it helps, sorry to interrupt, I think it helps also if you have composed movements, if you force yourself to stay put, it helps you to calm down as well.
Correct. Very correct. Very correct. Since we are on a screen, and since we've been on a screen since the pandemic started, a few other things I would say, and this is what we're working on. At the beginning, I used to show 1, 2, 3, the way we show it from right to left. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But you see it reverse now because it reflects differently. So if you want to make your point on a screen when it comes to your body language, start the opposite way that you would have started in real life on a stage. 1, so I'm going from left now, 2, 3. So this way people see you in the right way. So since we're on a screen, we have to take care of our body language and movements. And because we're delivering a lot of keynotes, as you know, Sophia, what I notice is that people can see us from here until here. So we need to use our facial expressions and be congruent. We cannot say the person died and go like this. Or we cannot say we're sad because of this and smile. So our physiology needs to reflect our emotions. And this is vital on a stage behind a screen, when this is the stage.
Definitely. Yes. People see us from the shoulders up, and I think speech is not only hearing someone, but it catches all the five senses. Well, on the screen there is no smell, but the way people see you or the expressions are really important to make a point.
Yes, very good. Let's get some of our comments before we show the book. Let's see who's here. Rokas Athens, good morning. Have a productive week. Thank you, Rokas. Evangelia, how you doing? Good morning to you. My friend George the La Dolas. George, you gave a very interesting interview the other day. I watched it all. Congratulations. And I'm so happy that we both agree on following Seth Godin and having him as a mentor. Stephanie Pilavagi, good morning. Sophia and Michael, have a lovely week ahead. Thank you, Sophia. Nick, good morning. Richard Pettinger is here. Good morning to everyone. Desislava, good morning to you as well. Georgia Stavru Maras, good morning. Happy October. Unlike Canada, Cyprus's weather is very mild here, so you might be very excited that you made the move here. Have a great week, Michael. Thank you, Kostas. And always first, Giorgio Anu, Kalom Masmina. Have a great month ahead. So, Sophia, let's get to our book of the show. And this comes from Nancy Duarte. Nancy Duarte is a specialist when it comes to slides, to branding. She wrote a book a few years back called Slideology, which is the art and science of creating great presentations. It's not as an easy read as the previous one we talked about Zen presentations, but she goes very deep when it comes to colors, design, and the rest. For those of you who want to enhance their performance on stage by crafting great slides, this is one way to go about it, and this is a book we highly recommend. So this is it from us this week. Anything else that we've forgotten, Sophia? You're okay?
I think that's all. Of course, there are many more tips in Stand Up, Stand Out, but I will let people discover them.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sophia. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. Thank you for being present. Have a productive week ahead and talk